Hello, my friends. I hope you guys are ready for a journey because the next few weeks we are going to take you someplace far, far away from the Elliott homestead. But we're going to be taking little pieces with us, and I wanted to share that with you. So Stuart and Georgia, our oldest daughter, and I are getting ready to go on a 2-week trip to the big island of Sicily, which is at the very southern part of Italy. Now we're going here for a few reasons. Of course, their food is world-renowned and I cannot wait to dive in. But this is really a work trip, and we're gonna be going with the idea of capturing a lot of footage and a lot of things to share with our audiences, whether that's our newsletter audience or YouTube audience or blog audience. So we have a lot of content to cover, and we're gonna be working really hard while we're there, so it's really crucial that I take a few pieces that make that possible, and I wanted to share with you a couple of weird things that are gonna be making the journey with us. So we have big plans from when we hit the ground to the end of the trip. We're gonna start off by hitting up a market. We're gonna be working with some chefs in some restaurants. We're gonna be making some cheese. We're gonna be meeting a natural winemaker. We're gonna be covering a lot of ground. And one of the things that we're going to be doing the most of is cooking. So it's really important that I take my Kamikoto knives with me. And I'd like to thank them for sponsoring today's video. So one of the reasons that we decided to take this trip to Italy in the first place, but particularly Sicily, is because of the people. The food is delicious, but the people, I'm told, are really welcoming and unmatched when it comes to hospitality. And that's a big part of what we do, and that's a big part of what we want to share with the world, and I can't wait to experience that for myself. We're going to be staying in various Airbnbs and various hotels, like I said, around Sicily with other people. So I'm actually going to have people to cook for while we're there. And I went back and forth, do I take my knives with me, do I not? But ultimately, my Kamikoto knives make it such a joy to cook that I really want to have them there with me. Kamikoto has been kind enough to extend a $50 off for your first Kamikoto purchase if you're in the market for some new knives. So use the code EHOME50 or click the link below the video and you can get $50 off your first purchase of Kamikoto knives. So when you get your Kamikoto knives, this is the Kenpiki set, which is the set that I have, and they come in this ashwood box. So traveling with them is actually really easy. So I'm going to be taking 3 knives with me. So this is my honshu knife. These are kind of dirty, but they're so used. This is my chef's knife. This is my most used knife. I've told you guys about that before. And then I'm going to take my little paring knife as well. So this should give me everything that I need while I'm there. It might seem a little strange to be taking knives, but this is the tools of my trade, if you will. This is what makes me feel comfortable and confident in the kitchen. So these knives, it takes years to make them from start to finish, from when it's mined to when it arrives on your doorstep. The process is over 19 steps. The result is impossibly sharp knives that hold up so well, that are incredibly balanced. They wear really well. So I'm really grateful to be taking my Kamikoto knives with me. The first sort of weird, obscure thing that I'm going to be packing in my suitcase. So click the link below the video and make sure you use the code EHOME50 for $50 off your purchase of your own Kamikoto knives. You will love these knives. Bar none, the best tool I have in my kitchen. So these are going to make the trip with us. Preparing to shoot these videos and take still life photographs and write and create while we're there has taken some planning. We obviously have kind of a mess to still sort through. We only have a few hours until we're going to be leaving. But as I was making my final list of things that needed to make the cut for this journey, I also decided, this may be weird, I could probably just buy one while we're there. But I decided that I needed to take my Italian apron with me. This was sent to me by a wonderful follower of mine, and it was made in Italy. She found it, she thought of me, and she sent it to me last year, and I absolutely love it. It's this really heavy canvas material. And again, I could go to any random kitchen and pick up any random knives and put on any random apron, but there is something about when you go into the kitchen and you have the knives that you're comfortable with, and you have your apron. It feels like, at least to me, putting on my like superhero cape. I'm like, okay, I know what I'm doing now, and I might not know this kitchen, and I might not know these ingredients perfectly, and I might not be able to speak the language of the people around me, but there's something sort of universal and comfortable and homey when you walk into a kitchen, you see somebody with an apron on, especially a fun apron, you're just like, okay, I'm comfortable here. This is gonna be good. We're gonna have a great time. And there's something about that that makes me feel really comfortable. I know I'm gonna be so out of my comfort zone on this trip. I am used to coming to you from our kitchen with our children and our animals and our windows and our lighting, and we know how to do all that, but this is almost another world. So these little bits of home that make me feel confident and make me feel comfortable, I think are gonna be really essential parts of the trip ultimately. And I'm sure I'll find an apron there that I love and that I wanna wear as well, but at least I know that I have a backup or one to begin with. Okay, now besides all kind of the essential things that we have to take, like cameras and computers and cords and microphones, I'm also kind of weird and print everything up in paper because somehow that makes it easier for me to organize in my brain. But the third kind of odd thing that I'm gonna be taking to Sicily with me is really special. At least I think it's really special. This is a piece of my sourdough starter. And this is going to be making the journey with me. Don't worry, it's perfectly legal to take a sourdough starter from Italy. In fact, I got this sourdough starter from Italy 4 years ago. So this starter was begun by my friend Carla. Carla founded the company Jovial Foods. We have used their products for years. I love them. You guys know how I feel about einkorn flour. So Carla began this starter decades ago when she started investing in einkorn and trying to understand it and learning to bake with sourdough. Now, when we went to Italy 4 years ago and met up with Carla, she was kind enough to share a piece of this starter with me, and this is one of my most prized possessions. I keep little pieces of it. I have little pieces of it in my office in town. I have some at my sister's house, so that if anything ever happens to mine here at my house, I have remnants of it that I can pick up and carry on with. There's something very special to me about taking this starter back to where it began and letting it sort of take in all of these new yeasts that are going to be flying around this ancient island, totally different than what I have going on in my kitchen. So I have a little piece here. I just fed it this morning and I froze it, so it'll be as fresh as it can be when we get there. That also means that I can bake bread, which might sound like a crazy thing for some people. Like, you're going to go to this amazing place, you're going to be baking bread, but baking bread is the entire point for me, and I cannot wait to get into those kitchens and go to the markets and get my hands dirty. And I'm really, really excited to take you guys along with us. I think it's going to be an incredible journey. So we're going to be posting some videos from Sicily, a whole new take for us. If you would like to follow along in a more exclusive and intimate way, I'd invite you to join our newsletter. I'm going to put a link for that below the video, or you can just visit shay.substack.com. There's going to be very exclusive articles and recipes that are going to be posted over there and only over there. So if you'd like to follow along in a little bit more of a detailed way, make sure you subscribe. There's a paid newsletter option, but also a free one as well. So it's up to you. So there you have it. We have like 2 hours to finish packing, charge all the batteries, make sure we don't forget anything, and get on that plane. It's gonna take us about 20 hours to get there. So it's gonna be a journey, but I think it's gonna be a journey that's well worth it. So make sure you visit the link below for that newsletter link, and make sure you visit Kamikoto and use the code EHOME50 for $50 off your Kamikoto purchase. Okay, we'll see you guys in Sicily. Cheers.